Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us for our webinar today, Turning Agentic IT Operations into Reality. We are here. We're going to hear some platform updates from our new Chief Product Officer. Just as a primer, this is actually a presentation that we shared in a recent event with our customers a couple of weeks ago, and we are really excited to be able to share this with the broader market and with some customers that were not able to join us in person. So with that, let's give you a couple of items of housekeeping just before we get started here. Number one, this event is being recorded, so you will have a version of this webinar on demand that will be emailed to you after the fact to share as you feel fit. One thing, we are not doing an official Q&A at the end of this session. However, you will see a questions panel in your webinar panel today. So feel free to ask your questions there throughout the presentation, and we'll make sure to follow up with you after the fact with our team. We just expect this to take the majority of our time today, so we really want to focus on that content. And then we'd love to take the time to go into your specific questions at a separate time with some of our team. And then finally, in the panel, you'll also see some resources from us, so feel free to check those out as well. There's plenty of content in there that we'd love for you to take a look at. As far as what you'll hear from us today, number one, you're going to meet our new Chief Product Officer. He's really going to talk through some of the industry trends that we see informing and shaping the direction of BigPanda's strategy and roadmap, but also where we see the world of IT operations going with the influx of agentic capabilities. He'll then jump into and go over the overarching BigPanda platform and talk through our now four-product platform that we have, and then we'll talk about just some of the resources that we have available to you. With that, though, let's just jump into introductions. So as I mentioned, we now have our new CPO, Chief Product Officer, Venkat Balasubramanian, joining us today. Venkat, thank you for taking time to join. I know you're super busy as well, so this is much appreciated. But with that, I will let you introduce yourself, and then I'll let you take it away.
Thank you, Katie. Hi, everyone. I'm Venkat Balasubramanian, incoming Chief Product Officer here at BigPanda, and I'm super excited to be talking to our customers and prospects today. For a little bit of context, I've been in this role for a little over 3 months now. And prior to this, I spent a few years at Freshworks, building out and scaling their ITSM platform, enabling teams to deliver exceptional employee experiences. And this is over 15,000 teams worldwide that we were able to touch with this platform. And having done that for a few years, I was looking for opportunities to come in and help take a platform that already had a ton of success with their customers to the next level, leveraging AI, especially leveraging Agentic AI for automating IT operations. And that's the opportunity that got me really excited about being here at BigPanda, in my role, I work pretty closely with the product and engineering teams here, and I partner closely with the go-to-market teams, the account management teams, the sales teams, support teams that you all know so well. And together, we are super excited about building out an agentic platform for IT operations. And that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today. So I want to kick this off by walking you through how we think about this moment in time and where we really are at this moment in time. We've been at this for a while now. You have all been at this with IT operations teams for a while, and there's been several shifts that we have seen in the market over the last few decades. We've seen that you go back long enough. There's been major shifts like the coming of the internet, the mobile era, cloud. All of these brought massive step changes in terms of what it enabled. What it enabled products to do. But all of those pale in comparison, each of those technology waves that I just talked about, pale in comparison to what we're going to see and what we're seeing right now with Agentic AI. Each of these waves drove massive increases in human productivity. And like I said, we've seen several waves. But Agentic AI is not just about making people more productive. It's about systems that can understand, reason, act, and continuously learn. And that's the shift that you're seeing on the screen. AI and machine learning and AI is not new. We've had this for 7-8 years now. BigPanda's products have incorporated this for several years now. But a lot of those early efforts were around distilling insights from large data sets, whether it's correlating alerts into actionable incidents or driving additional meaning from these incidents and letting you resolve them quickly. And these were the sorts of efforts that we had seen in the prior generations. But where we are now is essentially systems that can act, that can learn continuously, and can drive autonomous outcomes. So we are really excited about what lies ahead, and we truly believe it's going to have profound implications across industries, certainly profound implications for IT operations. Let me dive in a little bit and talk to you about why this is such a profound inflection point. It plays out in three different ways. First of all, it plays out in how we think about automation. On the left, you see how automation, IT automation works today. It's rules-based. It's fundamentally limited. It follows a very static decision path that is declared up ahead. And if X happens, do Y. Now, the moment things become more complex, whether it's number of signals or whether you're trying to really parse out a reason something has gone wrong, this system of rules hits its limit and starts breaking down. Agentic AI is capable of very complex reasoning. Instead of having a fixed path like you see in the left, you have the option to navigate complex decision trees that are built on the fly, where you're able to, where agentic AI is able to make sense of multiple sources, multiple signals, understand context, and choose what the right path is to move forward. So this is a pretty big shift that we're excited about. The next thing in terms of what becomes possible with the next wave of agentic AI that we're harnessing is the availability of enterprise data and knowledge. If you think about classic rule-based systems and how we have thought about this in IT operations, we have leveraged observability signals. We have leveraged CMDB. And these are very limited signals. These are very limited data sets that we use to try and figure out what's going on within the world of IT ops. But in reality, there is a lot more information than just that. An agentic AI is capable of harnessing all of your knowledge across your organization. Think about unstructured knowledge that exists in the heads of people, that exists in runbooks, an action somebody took a couple of months ago. And think about the messiness of real world data. Agentic AI is able to take advantage of all of this data, harness all the knowledge within your enterprise, and drive results for you. This is another big step change that we are excited to harness. And last but not least, and possibly the most powerful here, is the ability for agentic systems to actually take actions. So the reasoning is powerful, the sensing and the ability to make sense of the world around you and knowledge is powerful, but really where it all comes together is in acting and learning from those actions. The best analogy I have for this is full self-driving. It's not just understanding the environment, but making decisions about where your car is going. It's interpreting those signals in real time and making the adjustments that you need to drive a car safely from one point to another point. That's the leap that we are now able to make with IT. We're not surfacing insights, we're not surfacing dashboards. With agentic AI, we are actually observing what's happening, reasoning around that, and taking the right actions. And this is really what enables the sort of outcomes that we are excited about. So, and as we do this, as we usher our customers into this bold new world, we want to do this as partners. This is not a product we build and throw over the wall and say, figure this out. There's a lot of amazing technology here. We've spent the last decade working with Fortune 500 organizations such as the names you're seeing here and being a partner in their journey with ITOps. Now, AI is absolutely transforming ITOps, and we want to be a partner with you in this journey. We are going to harness everything into the product, but our commitment is to also stay on the cutting edge of AI with you and work closely with you to solve your problems. And this cuts across professional services. It cuts across forward deployed engineers. It cuts across up-leveling the understanding of AI within your organizations. We want to be a partner with you in all of this because we understand this is a journey. So how are we going to bring all of this to life? That's a lot of things I said in terms of things, that got me excited about being here. I'll start out by laying out to you how this is all going to come to life in our agentic platform. First up, we have the knowledge graph that is constantly understanding organizational knowledge across several different sources, internal observability, CMDB, ITSM platforms. We are building a knowledge graph that is making sense of all of this knowledge for you. And on top of this graph sits our agentic products. AI incident prevention is designed to predict and prevent incidents before they happen. It's targeted towards change teams and reduces the risk associated with deploying changes and reduces the number of incidents that you have to deal with. AI detection and response detects incidents and enables L1 operators, supercharges L1 operations by allowing you to respond really quickly to these incidents. The third product is L1 Agent. We are really excited to be talking about this product. L1 Agent is an agentic L1 operator that completely automates L1 operator actions within the NOC. We'll be giving you a sneak peek into this in a few minutes, but this is the newest product in our portfolio, and we are really excited about this. And last but not least, AI Incident Assistant for those incidents that require an elevated level of response. That's beyond L1. AI Incident Assistant is an agentic MIM and SRE product that automates the major incident management process for your operations teams and allows you to root cause specific incidents and remediate them agentically. So this is the platform that we're building, and we're super excited about this. And I'm going to take you through these one by one. And while I spoke about each of these products, and each of these products serves a different use case or a different customer. For example, incident prevention is focused on change teams. L1 Agent is focused on NOC teams. They all work really well together. And how do they do that? If you think about and this becomes the power of the platform. We have a platform that cuts across and automates the entire IT ops lifecycle from preventing incidents all the way through to resolving them. Incident prevention helps you understand and helps you prevent incidents before they happen and reduces incident volume for you. Detection and response picks up on any incident that's already happening within your production environment and and correlates them with alerts and creates fewer actionable incidents for your L1s to be able to action on. L1 agent, of course, takes that a step further and completely automates routing, prioritization, resolution, and other L1 actions, enabling you to resolve an issue quickly or escalate it quickly to AI Incident Assistant, which of course does deep investigation, escalated response, and enables L2, L3 teams to actually resolve incidents quickly. And all of this sits on top of the knowledge graph that's constantly learning across these products and making other products in the platform better. AI incident prevention feeds into Incident Assistant. AI detection and response feeds into Incident Assistant, and you're going to see some of this as we go along. Let me kick things off by talking to you about AI incident prevention. Like I said, this serves change teams, and it's set up to prevent incidents before they actually happen. So if you think about teams that are innovating fast, customers are pushing hundreds of changes, sometimes thousands of changes through cabs. They're holding cab meetings, and they're pulling engineers in, spending hours reviewing changes. But even after all of this, 73% of major incidents are caused by changes. So between all of these processes, we have slowed down the velocity of the business. We have, we are putting engineers valuable time on meetings discussing changes, and yet risk is escaping detection. And this is resulting in slowed business velocity. It's causing incidents in your production environment, and that's where AI incident prevention comes in. AI incident prevention prevents change-related failures by getting ahead of them. It automates risk analysis for your changes and scores them based on a deep understanding of historical incidents and change patterns across your environment and across your ITSM data. Based on that, it goes further than just recommending a risk score. It actually goes even further to suggest remediative actions and mitigation strategies before deployment, not after an outage has already happened and has impacted your operation. So with AI incident prevention, you're able to speed up cab approvals, and you're speeding up your process of reviewing changes and making sure your production environment's always up and running. And we're seeing real results with these products today. In this specific case, we have a large health enterprise that's already using AI incident prevention in production. And the challenge they had was they had hundreds of changes that were submitted every week across a very complex hybrid environment, spanning multi-cloud infrastructure and on-prem systems. Changes were incomplete, poorly scoped, and a lot of times were classified as low risk, but were still causing a lot of outages. Now, with the introduction of AI incident prevention, we know this organization uses AI-powered change risk intelligence that immediately identifies risky changes, suggests remediative actions, and suggests mitigation strategies. As a result of which, today, an average of 90% of the changes that flow through a system are automatically assessed and approved by this product, allowing the cab to function and focus exclusively on highest risk changes as opposed to all the changes. And the reduced risk exposure from their utilization of AI incident prevention is north of 500 million, because this was an organization where an outage had a 1.2 million dollars per minute cost for outages. So there's been a dramatic reduction in risk exposure as a result of implementing this product. And we are focused on improving these products. We are never sort of standing still. And as much as this product has seen a lot of adoption and driven success for our customers, we have aggressive plans to continue expanding it. For example, we know we have to tap into an expanded ecosystem of products. We know that change doesn't live only in an ITSM platform, and a lot of organizations are leveraging CI/CD pipelines to deploy changes. So wherever changes originate and wherever changes live, we want to be able to provide the intelligence there. So we will be tapping into CI/CD pipelines, um, and we're going to continue learning. And when it comes to actions, we are not just predicting risk, we are actually acting on this by enabling auto approval and routing of changes. This can happen in your ITSM platform, whether it's ServiceNow or otherwise. And we're also adding post-change validation to understand, once a change is actually deployed, whether we risk coded correctly and whether it actually prevented an incident. So these are some of the improvements that we're bringing to market with the AI incident prevention product. I want to take you through the next product. We talked about 4 products, and the next product in our portfolio is AI detection and response. AI detection and response is used to supercharge L1 operations across large organizations. And the way we enable this product is the way we think about this product really is when you think about an L1 operator and what they're doing to understand an incident and then make sense of it and then take the actions that they're required to take. For example, they'd want to check, the status of the service desk. Are there user-reported incidents that are showing up on the service desk? They have to make sense of observability data, which is happening at large scale. When you think about, they have to check and understand if, these incidents have happened in the past and what were some of the remediative actions that were taken in that context. All of this is, par for the course for an L1 operator when they're dealing with an incident. When you think about the time each of this takes several minutes, and you add all of this up, and you're looking at, anywhere between 60 to 85 minutes in terms of the amount of time it requires to complete these actions. Yet your SLAs as an L1 operation is 15 minutes. So this is the challenge for most L1 operators in IT teams, and this is what we're trying to solve. And how do we do that? AI detection response has 2 components. The first is event intelligence, which taps into an event stream from your observability systems, helps make sense out of it, correlates alerts at scale, and produces a small number of actionable incidents that you can focus on. This is our flagship product that has been a lot of customers have been using for a long time. It's event intelligence, but it doesn't stop there. Event intelligence feeds into AI triage, which allows human responders to understand what's going on and respond quickly. So incident correlation, historical incidents, what's happening within my service desk. All of this is agentically understood and presented to an L1 operator for them to be able to take a quick remediative action. Ultimately, AI detection and response hands off to humans, and humans are acting. Whether that's a resolution action that an L1's taking, or whether that's an escalation action where they're escalating to an L2 or an L3 for um, additional investigation. These are the kinds of things that AI detection and response enables for L1 operators. And we talked a little bit about correlating noisy observability events or checking external outages, understanding historical incidents. ADR takes all of this and reduces the amount of time required to do this to seconds. And these are minutes in the real world. An action around each of this for an L1 operator is going to take anywhere between 3 to 10 minutes, depending on what this action is. We are able to compress all of that to a matter of seconds, and this is a product that we are really excited about. And this is already being used in production environments by large customers. In this case, a large financial institution runs two distinct lines of businesses on BigPanda on our ADR product, and they are operating at pretty large scale where they're ingesting events in the tens of thousands, but the ADR platform is able to reduce the noise and unify several monitoring sources across their complex ID landscape and create an incident flow that is leveraging correlation, that's leveraging alert enrichment so that the human operators can make these decisions very quickly. Overall, for this large financial institution, the BigPanda ADR product was able to deliver over 99.9% noise reduction and millions of dollars in efficiency and cost savings year on year. So this just goes to illustrate the point that these products are being used right now in complex production environments by our customers, and it's driving a lot of success for them. Like I said, each of these products, we have aggressive plans to continue improving them. In the case of event intelligence, one of the things that we're really excited about is the service health dashboard, which gives L1 operations teams a bird's eye view of their service landscape and allows them to look at their entire ID landscape and understand where to focus on based on the alerts and incidents that have shown up in those specific services. With AI triage, we are driving further improvements to the similar incident functionality and incident correlation, which is a really, really exciting capability for us to be able to correlate incidents across different parts of the IT stack and be able to show that these are related incidents, whether they happen at the app layer, whether they happen at the network layer or at the infrastructure layer. We are able to make sense of them, and we are driving further improvements to this functionality with our AI triage product. So exciting roadmap, and we're excited to continue the conversation with you on this product as well. The third product that I would love to, I'm really excited to talk about today is our L1 agent product. This is the newest product in our portfolio. We launched it just a few weeks back at our BigPanda 26 event, and you heard me talk about how AI detection and response shows L1 operations. It takes minutes and reduces a lot of that to seconds, but ultimately defers to a human to be able to act on that. L1 agent goes one step further. L1 agent is essentially an agentic L1 operator that seeks to replace human L1 operators within NOC teams. And how does it do that? The L1 agent automates the entire L1 workflow with agents. We saw how the ADR product solves for this partially by correlating noisy observability events, checking historical incidents, and reducing that to a matter of seconds. The L1 agent goes one step further by understanding runbook investigation, by executing runbooks, by actually automating runbooks. And it goes further in terms of being able to take actions. Any of these L1 actions, whether it's routing, escalation, suppression, assignment, resolution, it actually performs these actions and takes the whole process of the L1 workflow, which is minutes today in the real world, and reduces them in its entirety to seconds. That is the power of our L1 agent product, and obviously we are really excited about this product. It's the newest product in our portfolio, and it drives value for first response and escalation teams along two specific axes. Like I said, one of them is entirely automating L1 operations. It replaces the operator end to end. Across L1 actions like ticket assignment, prioritization, suppression, it is able to perform all of these agentically at scale, at velocity. And the second, of course, is to the extent that it can't, because this is a complex incident, it prepares the context. It gathers the right context across topology, across your landscape, generates a crisp summary, and hands off that payload for L2 escalation teams to take care of. So these are the two big chunks of functionality within the L1 agent product. And we are really excited about continuing to develop this product out. We have an aggressive roadmap behind this. Today, the L1 agent can already do assignment. It can do a couple of other things, but we are excited about adding additional triage capabilities like prioritization, suppression, merging, and we'll be adding more and more L1 actions to this product. Agentic runbook investigation and automation is really exciting because we understand IT organizations like yours is heavily leveraging runbooks and standard operating procedures, especially for low complexity, high volume incidents. You have organizations tend to have a strong sense for what those troubleshooting activities should look like, what those investigative activities should look like. We want to be able to ingest all of that, regardless of where it is, and completely automate that with an L1 agent so that we are able to drive excellent high accuracy results in our L1 actions that we are taking with this agent. And we are also like I said at the beginning of the conversation, we are very committed to being where you already are, whether that's an ITSM platform or whether that's across the ecosystem of products you use. A lot of our customers are on different ITSM platforms, so we want to be able to take this agentic behavior and translate that into the world of ServiceNow or any other ITSM platform that you're using. This is just a couple of quick examples of some of the functionality that's coming down the pipeline with our L1 agent product. The next product that I'd like to walk you through is AI Incident Assistant. Like I said a few minutes back, we want to be able to resolve all the issues through our L1 agent or through our ADR products. But we realize that there is a level of escalated response that's required for critical incidents, major incidents, if you will. And that's what AI Incident Assistant does. It's an agentic major incident management and SRE product that automates major incident management response for critical incidents. And if you think about the problem, your typical P1 high priority major incidents, the response is it's a pretty, this is the bridge call from hell. This is the bridge call at 3 a.m. where you're escalating, you have multiple engineers on a call, you're investigating across multiple tools. There is a ton of activities as it relates to root causing, as it relates to coordination across different teams, as it relates to after resolution, making sure this doesn't happen again. And on average, if you look at this stream of activities, it takes over 3 hours for this to be completed. And you have tens of engineers, highly skilled engineers on a call trying to make sense of these issues. And if you think about the sum total of all the time that goes end to end into finishing a post incident report and making sure you put in the right the right action so that this doesn't happen again. That's way more than 3 hours. That's over 7 hours in totality. And a lot of this time is just waiting for information. That's where AI incident assistant comes in, and we are there's two broad capabilities within AI incident assistant that I'd love to take you through today. The first is what we call MIM orchestration. It is the ability to play an incident commander role that's coordinating and collaborating across various teams, communicating with various stakeholders, internal and external, pulling the right people into the bridge call, and making sure all the activities that need to happen to manage a major incident are happening. This is the MIM orchestration capability. The second capability that we're really excited about is an entirely agentic investigation swarm. This is essentially mimics L2, L3 activities, SRE activities. We have a series of agents that understand what the root cause is, that start the investigative activities to figure out what the root cause is for the incident you're looking at, understand all the changes that correlate to this incident, understand what's happening, sensing what's happening in the world right now as it relates to observability platforms, as it relates to service desk behaviors, and making sense of all of that, taking investigative paths, and actually driving root causation and remediation. This is a purely this is a series of agents that's working with a little bit of human coordination, with human in the loop, nudging these agents to do the right things, but is a pretty heavily agentic process, which means no hands. You're taking activities that take tens of minutes in the real world as it relates to major incident management troubleshooting, and again reducing those to seconds. So that is really exciting for us with this product. So in summary, we are with AI Incident Assistant, we are automating major incident management. We are accelerating the troubleshooting. We are pulling together data from siloed platforms and tools, understanding past incident patterns, and providing all the context that first responders need to move really fast and automating those actions. And this includes creating incident channels, pulling the right stakeholders, federating stakeholder communication back to various channels, whether it's on Slack or Teams or updating a website, keeping people in the loop across different modalities. And and as we do all of this, we are also able to learn from every incident. Remember, I talked to you about the fact that the knowledge graph underpins all these products and is constantly learning across all the interactions across each of these products and making all the other products better. So the knowledge graph is constantly learning, is understanding root causation, understanding resolution paths, and capturing that as knowledge so that these issues, when they happen another time, we have quick remediative paths to address them. That is the AI Incident Assistant product. And again, this is already being heavily used by our customers. We are super excited about that. In this case, a large health enterprise had poor incident detection processes, resulting in a large volume of major incidents that was business impacting for them. And because there was no clear root causation, they found themselves in a pattern where issues were recurring over time. Same incident or similar incident was happening again and again. And what we were able to do with AI Incident Assistant is we were able to shift them from being reactive to proactive by reducing the impact of major incidents. And we do that in a couple of different ways. We do that by understanding the root cause of specific incidents. We also deployed risk intelligence, the change risk intelligence product, which is incident prevention. And that also fed into our ability to be able to reduce incidents. But overall, we were able to drive real results for this organization to the tune of 60 minutes of reduction in resolution time for major incidents, and over 177, or about 3 hours of reduction in the touch time for major incidents, ultimately resulting in reduced incident impact in the tens of millions of dollars. So again, these are being used in the wild in very complex environments by customers such as yourselves today. So we're really excited about working with the rest of you on these products. Now, as you saw with every other product, there is an aggressive roadmap here as well. Um, we are working on a ton of capabilities. We want to be able to support agent ecosystems through both A2A and MCP-based integrations. We're already seeing for these agentic products, we're seeing a lot of usage from other platforms as well. So we want to make sure agents in those platforms are able to talk to our agents and drive resolution for these major incidents. And we want to include, you heard me talking about runbook execution in the context of the L1 agent product that continues here as well. We understand how runbooks are used inside IT organizations. We want to be able to support the use of that by these agents to drive remediative actions, to drive investigation. And so we're going to be investing in that. And we also want to be able to do more human in the loop, where humans are able to nudge these these agents as they take various pathways towards investigation. We see in the real world that major incident management teams oftentimes have people that have a sense for what's going wrong, and they want to be able to nudge the agent in a certain direction, add another pathway that they want the agent to explore. So we'll be allowing for functionality like that, and this is a product that we are iterating around very, very quickly. So a lot of this is coming to life even as we speak. Um, that gives you a sense for some of our products and how we think about the value proposition, what it does for ID operations teams, and how they all sit on top of a common knowledge graph. I do want to reiterate the point that even as I talked about these four products atomically and distinctly, AI incident prevention focused on change teams is all about understanding change risk and mitigating incidents before they happen. AI detection and response, enrich and correlate alerts, create clear incidents, and augment human responders. L1 agent takes that a step further, completely automate away L1 operators and completely automate L1 routing, prioritization, and resolution. An AI incident assistant is for escalated response for driving quick resolution of really critical incidents. And as much as each of these products work independently, focused on distinct parts of the incident management lifecycle, they also work together. They're all sitting on top of a common knowledge graph. They're all talking to that knowledge graph to continuously get better. They're all feeding into that knowledge graph everything they're learning as they solve these incidents for our customers. And they come together in a way that we are driving reduced incident volume. We're driving faster escalation and faster resolution across our products, and ultimately driving continuous improvement for ITOps organizations everywhere. And that is the power of the BigPanda platform. And we are super excited to continue the conversation with each of you. And let's hear a little bit more about how we want to do that.
Thanks, Venkat. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Katie.
That was great. That was really, yeah, that was, and personally, it's really exciting for me to see two things. Number one, really see BigPanda embrace agentic technology, embed that through the various stages of, incident response, which the other side that's really exciting for me is to see this platform evolve from what many folks that are watching this today are familiar with is the event intelligence, the event management component, but, to have now be delivering use cases and value to so many different teams from change management to the major incident management teams to escalation teams, in addition to the L1 and the NOC. I think that's just really exciting and powerful. So exciting. And thank you for walking us through the platform. But yes, as you mentioned, a couple of just next steps for folks. Obviously, Venkat went through a ton of information today, and we didn't necessarily have time to run through questions. If you did pose anything in the chat, we will share that with our team and they'll be following up. But I would encourage, even if you didn't ask a question, We would love to show you this live. We realize we didn't demo any of our products today, but that's really, I feel like, when the power is, when you see the power is when you see it in action. So we would love to show you a demo. So please reach out and book a demo with us. And number two, you know, if I can mention, we now have a fourth product, the L1 agent. So that's new for folks who have seen similar roadmap and platform webinars in the past. We have a webinar coming up on June 2nd where we will go into L1 Agent in depth. So you'll hear from Paul Kane on that. He will be going through a demo. We'll show you all the latest and greatest functionality around ticket routing and prioritization, and talk a little bit about what's coming with Runbook. So really exciting. And then in general, if you just want to learn more, like please visit our website. We have a ton of information on there, whether that is, you know, understanding what more about these products or just kind of understanding the role of agents and autonomous capabilities in IT operations. We have plenty of reading there for you. I'm sure everyone's ready to dig in. So thank you all for joining us. We appreciate your time today. I know you're all busy. Again, this is being recorded. We will share it with you after the fact. But again, thank you so much, Venkat. Thank you. And everyone enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Katie.